Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 2, March 23rd, Wednesday, 2012, of the Villainous Times. Today's top story, whilst being already informing the public of the current version of the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Stephen Harper, being prosthetic, aka an artificial intelligence robot. I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to keep going. Okay. Today's top story. Why do we live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and yet we are so adamant about destroying our nature, just for the sake of a few more years of profit? I mean, it can't go on like this forever. Really? You really think it can? Do you really think that our oil reserves unchanged since 1988, whereby we can sell a certain amount of what we claim to have in the ground, is going to stay the same forever? Of course it's going to deplete at some point. Either that or I'll be infected with disgusting tailing pond jazz that killed 16,000 ducks in 2010, which is disgusting in itself, not to mention all the rivers it pollutes. Really? Do you want that? Let's go to BC now. BC! Did you know in BC there's illegal fishing farms? At least they're illegal in 9 other countries around the planet. Why? Because of what they do to the local fishing habitat. They destroy it. They eat it. It goes away. I could really get into those reasons why, but I'm not going to at this time. Then we can go to Ontario. In Ontario, we have the federal government, the provincial government, attempting to remove animals, aka moose, off the endangered species list just so logging can continue in the boreal forest. That is, behind the lines. If you were to go up to the forest, you would see it. It would be beautiful. But not so far in, you would find that the logging has continued, which is disastrous. Canada, Prime Minister, why? Why are you so for corporations and so against your people? You take our money, you give them austerity packages. It's not going to work for very long. Look at Greece. Look at Spain. We're not a big country of citizens. There's not many of us. And you can only do so much before you make us angry. And we fight back. Because let's be honest, while we're pretty passive and we do sit around not fighting you on many points, when you push us to the brink, just like they did in World War I and World War II, when we are at that brink, upon the precipice, we fight back. And that is what happened. It is what is happening in Montreal right now. And it's not going to stop. We will rally behind them. I'm rallying behind them. And eventually, you won't have anyone to police anymore. No authority will you have over us. Unless you join us. Help us. Let us help you. So, Mr. Prime Minister, whatever version you currently are, help us. Stop being against us. If you do not, I cannot say what will happen because I have no plans. I merely report the news. So in that event of my horrible verbiage this evening, as it being my first cast, I will not edit this one, although I did edit number 1. And number 3 I will also edit. Number 2 I will not, because that's how I'm going to be this evening. And so I leave you with this. If you wish to contact me at any point in time, you can do so at villainoftruth@gmail.com. Suggestions, comments, help me out. I need to be educated. I'm not the smartest man in the world here. But by gum darn radical wizardness, I hope to change the world. Why? Because of what I've been through, and what you're going through. It matters. We all have a unique, diverse story, and we're all equal. No matter what the Canadian government says, or your prejudice tells you in your brain. Let's change the world, you and I, together. This thing, I don't know what's going on here. We are going to change the world. Have a great evening. This is Juton, reporting out. Villainous Times. Equality Universal. Good evening.